Today, we are getting into a topic that is very, very close to my heart because I am my own worst critic, but it's also something that the majority of women that I help struggle with, and that is how to overcome self-sabotaging beliefs and kick that mean girl to the curb. Because listen, ain't nobody got time for that bitch's shenanigans, all right? Now, I think now especially, we're in 2021, it's the perfect time for us to start to really think about whether or not our beliefs actually hold us back or set us free and set us up for an amazing future. So when I talk about self-sabotaging beliefs, what am I actually referring to? I'm talking about that little voice that's inside of your head that constantly rears her ugly head right when you're about to kick off a really exciting new venture, take on a really exciting new project, stretch yourself in any kind of way and push yourself forward, right? How many people, how often do you find that you've got this really, really, really amazing amount of confidence, you really want to grow, push yourself out of your comfort zone, then boom, here she comes to ruin the day, to tell you about why you can't do this, why you can't do that, why you're not good enough for this, why you're not good enough for that. This is something that affects 80, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think it's 80 to 85% of the female population struggle with some kind of imposter syndrome or fear that they're not good enough. Even those women who are CEOs, CFOs, CTOs, all the C's, but the people who you know, who you look at and you're like, wow, why can't I be more like you? Why can't I be more confident? Why can't I be more successful? All of those people that you aspire to be more like and wish that you embodied some of that confidence, they struggle too. So for today, I wanted to simplify this in a couple of really, really simple, easy, digestible ways. I've got a couple of steps that should help you to be able to overcome that bitch in your brain and be able to really stretch yourself outside of your comfort zone and shoot for the stars and really, really push yourself to achieve those dreams. So number one, super simple. Write down a list of the stories that you tell yourself. These are the stories that are on repeat. When you're rewiring your brain, which is exactly what you're doing right now, there is always going to be a little bit of resistance. So I'm not talking about every single thing on the planet that's going through your brain, but definitely those things that you're hearing on a constant basis that remind you. You know, the typical one for me, it's you're not good enough, you're not confident enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not slim enough, you don't know enough. I think you could probably come up with a couple yourself. Okay, so as soon as I'm done with this tip, promise me, you're gonna go away and you're gonna do this right now, okay? So I want you to list either 5 to 10 things that you hear yourself say on repeat about why you cannot do more, be better, stretch yourself, or go after the dreams that you have inside of your head that you really want to achieve this year, okay? So make a list, write them down. Doing it in your head is not good enough. Sorry guys, not gonna let you off the hook here. Putting it onto paper really, really strengthens the intention behind what we're doing. So go ahead, do it now. Number 2, some people get a little bit crazy with what we're gonna do next. I'll tell you my way, and it's completely up to you, whatever makes you feel most empowered, but we're gonna basically cross that out. We're going to rewire our brains to recognize that we no longer believe in this particular story. Okay? We are going to invalidate the bullshit that your mind tells you that you can't achieve. And how are we going to do that? You're going to look at your list and you're going to put a line through each bullshit, lie, story, whatever, belief. These are your old beliefs that we are removing and changing, right? So you're going to put a line through it. This is how I do it. I typically will make a list, and in between each section, I'll have space. So I'll give myself a couple of lines in between each story or each belief that I jot down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just scribble it out. I don't like to completely scribble it out because I like to remind myself and go back when I'm feeling that belief and it starts to like take root again. I like to be able to go back, see it there, see that there's a line through it, see that I took action to say, no more, absolutely not, we are not believing this anymore. So that's why I like to kind of like not get too crazy. Now, some people Some people want to go crazy. Some people want to get a permanent marker and scribble all over it, rip it up, burn it up, all kinds of shit. Whatever makes you feel empowered and whatever makes you feel like you have said, no, I no longer allow this particular belief to take root and to take hold of me and prevent me from moving forward. Whatever works for you, baby, you go for it. 3. This is my favorite part. I love this part because this is when we really get to step in to our power. This is when we really get to like embody that higher self and start to feel really amazing about ourselves, because we're going to rewrite how we feel about who we are and what we can achieve. Okay, so it's exactly that. Where you have, if you've given yourself the space below each point, right, where you scribbled it out, now we've got some space to write our new belief. Go ahead and look at whatever it was that you had suggested. Let's flip it. Let's do the alternative of why you can't achieve something. I want you to give yourself a reason. I want you to give yourself some proof of why your new belief is actually going to empower you to be able to achieve what it is that you want to achieve, as opposed to prevent you from moving forward. So instead of saying, I am not confident enough, you can say to yourself, I work every day to become more confident so that I can achieve X, Y, Z, right? Super simple, but trust me when I say it's also super powerful. So go and do that now. Number 4, guys, there is no sense. Now, as empowering as this process is and empowering as this exercise is, and trust me when I say, if you are doing this with me, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you're not and you're waiting until afterwards because you want to digest all of my goodness first, that's fine too. But you'll see what I mean when I say that you will feel empowered as you're doing this exercise. But it is no sense in just doing it the once, hoping that all of your dreams come true, walking away and leaving it to just like do its own thing. Right? This is the same as don't think you can eat a salad and lose 20 pounds. Your good intentions were there. I applaud you. You did a great job. Salads are delicious and really, really good for you, but they're not going to actually help you to achieve your goal if you don't do these things consistently, right? So that's where we come down to repetition, consistency, and really, really, really forging these beliefs in our minds as being the truth. But whenever it comes to new habits, it does actually take us anywhere from 21 to 30 days for that information to actually become part of our belief system, right? So when I say that your next task is consistency, what I'm talking about is every single day you need to be writing it down. For me personally, what I like to do, I like to write my beliefs down, and then on a daily basis, these become my affirmations. So I will actually, every single morning, I have my morning routine, and as part of that, I will rewrite, because to me, it's something that I did even, in school, in college. It helped me to really retain information. And so that's how I trick my brain into remembering that this new belief is our current belief. And that's what's going to help us to move forward, as opposed to reverting back to old belief systems, old behavioral patterns that prevent us from moving forward. So read it, scream it, write it. As long as you're doing it on a daily basis, write loads of post-it notes and stick them all over your house, whatever helps you to keep that kind of thought process going. Whatever works for you is great, but repetition, repetition, repetition. Are you ready for number 5? Number 5 is to watch your life change. I know that this almost seems like it's so simple that it's too good to be true, but trust me when I say that this will change your life if you apply it on a daily basis. It may not be that you do all of it right all in the first go, and this will be a practice that you have to do on a consistent basis, because new beliefs will start to form, new fears will start to crop up. So this isn't a one-time deal, one and done type of deal where you just do it the one time, forget about it, and then all your dreams come true. Sorry, for me personally, and for every single person that I've worked with over the last 10 years, that has not been the case as being something that actually works for them. But what does work is when you look at your beliefs and you rewire your brain to completely change its perspective on what life means and what can be achieved. And I think the easiest way that you can do that is to write down what is actually the truth, recognize what isn't the truth and what is holding you back, and tell that to fuck right off. and to really, really think about on a daily basis how you can increase the consistency of how often you're telling yourself the new belief, how often you're telling yourself that you can do it, that you are worthy, that you can achieve whatever it is that you set out to achieve if the action is behind that belief, right? So consistency is 100% key, but the action of actually looking at what's not working and overcoming that belief by creating a new one is super, super important too. So you guys, that's all I have for you today. You've been amazing. I think the fact that you're even doing this is incredible. So guys, as a reminder, you do not have to be victim to your mind anymore. You really, really don't. You have the power to change how you feel about every single moment. You have the power to rewrite and rewire your brain to change what it thinks is true, right? Just because you believe something in the past, just because your family told you that it was true and that's what it's been ingrained in you, and you've been conditioned to believe that you're not smart enough, you're not strong enough, you're not capable enough, you're not worthy enough, all of these things, just because there's something that you used to believe is true does not mean that it's something that you need to continue to believe is true. So empower yourself. Today, take the action, do these super simple exercises, which literally we're talking like 10 to 20 minutes. If you want to go crazy and do an hour, that's fine. But I mean, honestly, you could do these in the space of 10 minutes, and you should be doing these things for yourself on a daily basis because it will help you to feel better. It will help you to feel like I can achieve what I want to achieve. It will help you to really grab your life by the balls and make it what you want to make it. So do this today and watch your life change, because I promise you, if you do what I have suggested, that's exactly what will happen. So guys, if this has been helpful for you, please remember to subscribe so that you can get all of the goodness. I'll be jumping on here on at least a weekly basis to share all of my tips, tools, and also share the free resources that come, freebies. But that's all for today. So I hope you guys have an amazing day. I love you so much. Remember, you are worthy, you are capable, and you can do whatever it is that you want to do as long as the action is behind the intention. All right. Mwah.